So actually we have 12 funds, 3 of which are investing in the Aramco IPO, 2 of which are diversified Saudi equity funds and are amongst the largest in the market. One is actually dedicated specifically to the Aramco offering because we're uniquely positioned as a DIFC fund, being able to get access to the domestic Saudi cash markets, but still being open to foreign investors.
Okay, so this IPO is a fraction of its former self, though. We've seen expectations being significantly scaled back. What type of interest have you seen so far for a placement into Aramco, and how are you reading the situation right now?
So the retail books are closing. As you've seen, the retail offering was oversubscribed. We're seeing the institutional offering as being as much as 3 times oversubscribed at the moment. The size and scale of the offering is still the largest IPO ever at over $25 billion. It clearly demonstrates that there was significant demand for the offering only in the domestic market. So we see it as a successful overall offering.
Okay, Zachary, Matt also has a question for you.
Thank you, Matt.
What do you think that's going to mean then for the pricing if we're seeing, of course, the retail book heavily oversubscribed? What do you think that's going to mean? Obviously, we still have to await the closure of the insto component, but what could it mean for the overall pricing?
So we're seeing it pricing at the top end of the range, which would put the valuation initially at $1.7 billion. We still see actually upside for the Aramco shares to trade higher after listing as well.
What about this foreign listing that we, of course,
so
have been talking about now
you...
for some time? We know that there was going to be potentially another listing somewhere, London, Tokyo, even New York or even Singapore has been touted. How much of a success does the Tadawul listing have to be before we start talking about, do you think, the foreign listing?
So the success of the Tadawul listing, raising over $25 billion, making it the largest IPO ever, while still only focusing on the domestic market, really demonstrates the strength of Saudi Aramco and its ability to access capital markets when it needs to. So we still see the likelihood of a foreign listing being on the cards as part of Saudi Aramco's and the Saudi government's overall diversification and modernization drive, which Aramco's IPO is potentially a cornerstone of. So a foreign listing is probably likely, but we do not know exactly when that will happen or where that will happen. Tokyo, as you mentioned, London and New York still remain on the cards.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.